Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Skill87, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the job Bard for Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. Now this video will be the second of my Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn videos. I will no longer be doing Guild Wars 2 videos, so please don't even bother asking in the comment section. I will be doing videos like these for every job I have at 50. They will not be guides, but more like introductions and little videos to help you get a better understanding of the job, whether or not like you're trying to figure out what the next job you want to level up and you want a little brief introduction to what the job has to offer. So I'll be doing videos like these as I gain more experience with the game and learn much more and verify what I've learned. I will be giving you guys much more videos. My next video will be about Warrior, but today's video is about Bard, and I find Bard to be very interesting with Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn because unlike Final Fantasy XI, where Bard was mainly a support class, sang songs, pulled mobs, slept them, rinse repeated, Bard is taking the place of the beloved Ranger. When you start off the game, you get to choose Archer, and Archer is basically Ranger, and Ranger then turns into Bard. And it's crazy because people are so used to Bard in Final Fantasy XI that when they come to 14, they're like in complete utter shock that Bard can actually out DPS monks and dragoons quite effectively if the Bard knows what he's doing. A decently equipped Bard has the ability to out DPS a well-equipped dragoon and monk, if of course the player knows how to utilize specific macros, how to utilize debuffs, and how to utilize songs properly. So with this video, we're going to go over a couple skills and a little nifty macro that I personally utilize. I learned from someone in game named Mia Coldwater. He was kind enough to share with me his macro, and I thought I'd share it with my YouTube subscribers. So what makes Bard stand out from other DPS? One, you're a ranged DPS that has the ability to sacrifice some power in favor of songs that buff the party, and unlike other DPS, your limit break is the healing limit break. So you have the ability to AoE raise, but you're still technically a DPS. This makes you very versatile, and it just complements the party so well that you have a DPS that's not only out of sight, out of mind. It's one less thing for the white mage or scholar to worry about. You have a DPS that can hold mobs in place, do nice debuffs, take care of themselves, and keep the MP, TP, and enemy defense down. It's real nice. Bard is very, very nice, especially if you want a class that does it all. Bard is there. Now, unlike Bard for Final Fantasy XI, Bard in Final Fantasy XIV does not have access to any form of healing, so the MP Bard will be utilized for songs. The higher your MP, the longer your songs last. Every song has a different MP tick. Example, Mage's Ballad has a somewhat, decent MP tick, as your Foe's Requiem has a crazy tick and will deplete your MP in seconds, but is a very useful, song. Bard's subclasses are Pugilist and Lancer. For Pugilist, you'll have Featherfoot, Haymaker, Mantra, Eternal Release, and Second Wind. I personally, when I play Bard, prefer Second Wind and Eternal Release, and for Lancer, I utilize Invigorate and Blood for Blood. I activated Feint for my additional actions, but I personally don't use it because of course any skill you use as from a different job will be in a sense cut in half in terms of usefulness. So I'd rather not just use Feint and concentrate that extra 2-3 seconds doing a different skill. You have a wide variety of bow attacks, and unlike other DPS, the majority pretty much this is not a combo DPS class. The majority of the attacks you do are single attacks. That's why the specific macro I use is really badass. So personally, I feel that once you get to higher levels and you have access to all these useful skills, your hotbar should look something like this. This is my personal opinion, of course. I'm not I'm not the best bar in the world. I have relatively decent gear. We're all AF. I wear Explorer's Breeches, a bunch of HQ gear, nothing special. But as long as you know what you're doing and you're decently equipped, you'll be useful in any situation. That's why I feel Final Fantasy XIV is. Granted, everyone wants to deck out their character. As long as you have decent gear and a well understanding good understanding of what you're actually doing, that will be more beneficial to the party than just being someone in full dark light. Because I've met some players in full dark light that really don't know what in the shit they're doing. So your hotbar should look something like this. My one for attack 1 is actually a macro. This is the macro I'm talking about. With the press of one button, and you just keep pressing the button over and over, you activate Raging Strikes, Barrage, Hawk's Eye, Internal Release, Misery's End, Bloodletter, Heavy Shot. Okay, we'll take a look at what these skills do. Heavy Shot is your basic attack, but it will be the last one here. And trust me, it procs properly. There is no wait 1, there is no wait 2. You want it in this order. Okay. Raging Strikes. Increase damage dealt by 20%, duration 20 seconds. Recast 120 seconds. Barrage. Increase the number of strikes per auto attack to 3. You don't even have to initiate auto attack. Just straight up utilize this macro, and in between attacks, you'll auto attack. Hawk's Eye. Increase dexterity by 15% and physical accuracy by 20%. Always useful. Internal Release. Increase critical hit rate by 20%. Duration 15 seconds. My bar uses a lot of critical hit rate chance up, so I personally love Internal Release. Misery's End. Very nice skill. Delivers an attack with a potency of 190. Can only be executed when a target HP is below 20 seconds. The recast time in this is 12 seconds. That is bananas. So once you utilize all your buffs and you get the debuffs on the mob, within 5 seconds of you debuffing the mob and buffing yourself, Misery's End will become available, and you can spam this from one mob to the other. Bloodletter. Where are you? Delivers an attack with a potency of 150, recast 15 seconds. This is nice. Pretty much just a hard-hitting move that you can spam. Now, I like to start off every fight like this. Before I jump into a fight with a mob or I'm in a group, I keep it simple. Wherever the tank is standing, I pop Flaming Arrow. Sets the ground ablaze, delivering a damage with a potency of 35 to enemies that enter the flames. 30 seconds. It's just 30 seconds of a field of flame. There is no reason this should not always be up when it's available. After you pop Flaming Arrow, and you are sure that the tank has the mob in place, pop Rain of Death. Delivers an attack with a potency of 100 to a target and enemies near it. Lowers target's damage dealt by 10%. This, of course, can be comboed with Wide Volley and Quick Knock. I personally do not utilize Quick Knock. I feel it's a waste of TP. I just utilize Wide Volley very rarely. Wide Volley is a great skill to have ready. Delivers an attack with a potency of 110 to target and enemies near it. 50% chance next Rain of Death will cost no TP. You could personally utilize Quick Knock and Rain of Death, and Wide Volley, but I personally only use Wide Volley. I utilize this skill only when there are a bunch of mobs on the screen. Like, let's say you're doing the Wanderer's Palace and you get to that boss wall with the slimes. I'll spam the almighty hell out of Wide Volley to get the mobs down. And when you spam this and you're fully buffed, it does insane damage. Some people have stepped up and said bar is actually somewhat overpowered. How effectively you can AoE, buff, and DPS and support all at the same time in one class like nothing. Shadowbind and Repelling Shot. I love this combo. When an enemy gets close to me, I'll use Repelling Shot to bounce back. Delivers an attack with a potency of 80. Additional effect, 10 jaw and backstep. Once I pop that, I'll Shadowbind. Keep the mobs still for 10 seconds. Note that the second you hit the mob, he'll be able to move. A nice little trick I like to do is once I pop Flaming Arrow, I'll usually pop Shadowbind. So even though it says 10 seconds, it's more or less like 2-3 seconds, and it gives me enough time to pop my other debuffs and buff my character. Once I get the AoE Flame Arrow and Rain of Death all up, on the mob, I'll start the actual DPS thing with Wind Bite and Venomous Bite. 2 debuffs that should be on the mob at all times. Then I'll pop my, my little macro right here, which is insane buffs that you can spam from one mob to the next. And the reason Straight Shot is not part of the macro is I actually want to see Straight Shot. I want to see Straight Shot get the little, highlighter on it to let me know when I can use it. You want to know when you can actually utilize Straight Shot for the crit. delivers an attack with a potency of 140. Increases critical hit rate by 10%. Duration 20 seconds. Okay. When this is comboed, it crits. So not only we get a nice free crit, you'll get a 10% chance increase in your crit rate. So that's pretty much how I DPS with Bard. And trust me, once you get used to it, once you get used to the Flaming Arrow, Rain of Death, Wind Bite to Venomous Bite, to the straight shot, pop up the macro, rinse, repeat, you'll see why Bard is just considered overpowered at the moment. Every once in a while, I'll pop Blood for Blood. Use this use this when you know that the tank has some strong hate. With Blood for Blood, increased damage dealt by 20%, you can really pull hate away from the mob and fuck shit up for the party. So make sure you have a competent tank. If you're soloing, make sure your chocobo's out, or make sure you have a plan of escape, and or you know you're gonna kill the fucking mob, because that damage suffered by 25% really fucking sucks. Second Wind doesn't really proc that well as a sub, skill, but it's nice to have. Invigorate, very useful for when you're spamming Wide Volley and Rain of Death. Now let's talk about the songs. As far as songs are concerned, Swift Song, you're in town, use it. Mage's Ballad. Mage's Ballad is what it sets out to be. It's a song that restores TP. Now, when you sing the song, there's no timer on it, unlike an XI. It just simply does it like this. Oh yeah, I forgot to cover something. For those who are familiar with Final Fantasy XI, granted Bard's an archer. In Final Fantasy XIV, there's unlimited arrows. There is no arrow system. There is no you have to buy arrows for your character. You buy a bow, you have unlimited arrows. There is no different selection of arrows. And as far as instruments are concerned, there are no instruments in this game either. Your character has a harp by default. Any song you do, he just plays a harp. So when you're decking out your Bard, all you gotta do is worry about a bow, your regular gear, and your sub gear. No arrows, no instruments. Make it relatively simple. When you sing a song, it becomes a buff. Okay? Use MP to gradually restore the MP of nearby party members. Damage dealt is reduced. What's happening now is, in combat, my MP will really drain. But my fellow party members' MP will be restored. And how this works is, the MP bar on the bottom is like a timer. The more MP you have, the longer the songs last, and different songs have different MP ticks. Mage's Ballad can restore a mage's MP bar in about 15-20 seconds. So once the bar is filled, once you feel that the mage has got the MP back, turn it off. Don't keep it on. Because remember, you're still a DPS. When you sing songs, you sacrifice a lot of DPS. When you sing Mage's Ballad, check it out. Refresh MP of all party members while lowering own damage dealt by 20%. That's a lot. That's a lot of DPS sacrifice to give your mages MP restoration. Foe's Requiem reduces all elemental damage. Reduces all enemy elemental resistance by 10%. Basically, if you have a summoner or a black mage in your party and you pop this, the mob is fucked. Excuse my language, but he's pretty much done for. This kills your MP. When you sing, try to imagine an invisible circle around your character. You see where the Aetheryte shard is? If my party's over there and I'm over here, the song will not affect them. If I get within about this kind of range, the song will affect them. I don't have to actually be on top of my party for the song to be effective. When you sing a song, your character becomes a walking, just like totem of a buff. And as long as you're within range of your party or the enemy, the song works until you run out of MP. My MP is not draining because I'm in town. When I'm in a dungeon or out in the field or in combat, but you see my MP bar draining rapidly. You can see it ticking. So when in combat, utilize Mage's Ballad sparingly. Know when to use it. Know when to use Foe's Requiem. Army's Payon. If you're in a party with relatively, large amount of DPS, you have lots of dragoons, monks, or you just feel that people in the party are lacking TP. When you're doing a boss, pop this real quick. Armor's Payon, restoration of TP. And if you're in a real bind, I always love to pop Battle Voice, which is kind of like the 2-hour concept for Final Fantasy XI, and pop the Mage's Ballad, and you'll get the you'll get the mage's MP right back to full within like 10 seconds, not even. It's great. So that's pretty much a nice little summary of Bard. You know, like I said, it's not really a guide. It's more like an introduction to the class, what your class, what the job is capable of, what it's all about. Quick little rundown. Bard is Ranger in this game. You are a DPS. You have a nice selection of debuffs, mob control, and you have the ability to sacrifice your own DPS in favor to temporarily help your party members out. You also have access to the healing limit break. When it comes to equipment, you will be utilizing gear that gives you plus dex, plus critical hit rate, plus determination. And if you want, plus, accuracy, vitality, it's whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. Bard's main stat in this game is Dexterity. A little MP doesn't hurt. It increases the longevity of your songs. And critical hit rate plus is always a must. For those who are new to Final Fantasy 14 and they're from 11, there is no arrow system in this game. There's no instrument system in this game. You equip a bow, that's your weapon. You sing a song, your character plays a harp. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. So I hope this video, was satisfactory. And my next video will be about Warrior. If you would like to know anything more about Bard and what it's capable of, hit me up in the comment section below. Everything I talked about will be in the video description below. Once again, my character's name is Ismael Mercado. I'm on the Excalibur server representing the Vanadiel rejects, Linkshell, and Free Company. We kick some major fucking ass. So if you would like to join the Linkshell Free Company, hit me up in game, and we'll just, try to set something up. One thing though, we do not do the elitist thing. If you're an elitist, suck a fucking dick. If you're a guy looking to have some fun, a guy or girl looking to have some fun, get shit done, and represent a Linkshell Free Company that is populated by people who are just laid back, chill, and have fun with the game, generally an older crowd, this might be the Linkshell Free Company for you. So thank you for watching my video. I'll catch you guys next video, and peace out, and see you in Eorzea, if I even said that properly. Shit.